Adored kid, hear my voice as I address you from the profundities of time everlasting. In the huge field of existence, in the midst of the endless stars and systems, I shout to you with an affection that rises above all comprehension. You are in good company in this tremendous universe. I'm here with you, directing you, safeguarding you, and valuing you as my own. From the snapshot of your origination to the furthest limit of your days, I have been close by, winding around the woven artwork of your existence with boundless consideration and accuracy. Each breath you take, each heartbeat that heartbeats through your veins, is a demonstration of my adoration for you. You are my cherished kid, and I hold you in the center of my hand as the maker. Everything being equal, I have formed you in my picture, enriching you with gifts and abilities exceptionally your own. You are frightfully and magnificently made, a magnum opus of my creation. There is no other person on the planet very like you, for you are an impression of my heavenly nature. However, the hardships of life might weigh weighty upon your shoulders, realize that you don't bear them alone. I'm here to ease up your weight, to lift you up when you stagger, and to bring you through the most obscure of evenings. My adoration for you exceeds all rational limitations, and it will support you through each tempest that might come your direction, in the rushing bout of regular daily existence. It very well may be not difficult to fail to focus on what your identity is and where you come from. In any case, I'm here to help you to remember your actual way of life as my adored kid. You are not characterized by your victories or disappointments, your assets or accomplishments. You are characterized by the affection that I have for you, an affection that knows no closure. So cheer up, my kid, and pay attention to the voice that shouts to you from the profundities of time everlasting. Trust in my affection, and let it guide you on your excursion through life. From the Maker. Everything being equal, and I hold you in the center of my hand, presently and forevermore. Title: Divine Empathy, a delicate hug in the midst of battle and the tremendous scope of presence. In the midst of the many-sided embroidery of human experience, there exists an unfathomable repository of empathy moving from the core of the heavenly. Hear these words as a delicate murmur that strokes the profundities of your spirit. I see the battles and difficulties you face, and my heart throbs with sympathy for you. Know, darling, that you are rarely alone, for I'm with you generally. My dearest kid, as you explore the exciting bends in the road of life's excursion, I'm ever present, taking the stand concerning your victories and your afflictions. I see the heaviness of weights that you convey upon your shoulders, the tears that fall in snapshots of depression, and the quiet cries of your heart in the obscurity of night. Also, in every second, my heart expands with sympathy for you, my adored kid. In the midst of misfortune, when the street ahead appears to be steep and the hindrances unconquerable, realize that I'm strolling close by, offering comfort and solidarity to elevate you. However the tempests might seethe and the breezes might cry, my adoration for you stays unfaltering and unflinching, a reference point of light that directs your direction through the obscurity. At the point when the heaviness of the world takes steps to squash your soul, let my sympathy be an emollient that relieves your fatigued soul, for I comprehend the battles that you face, and I hold you in the delicate hug of my adoration, extending solace and comfort in the midst of hardship. You are valuable to me, darling, and my heart throbs effortlessly your agony, in snapshots of uncertainty and vulnerability. When what's to come seems covered in shadows, recollect that I am the light that sparkles in the haziness, enlightening your way with trust and effortlessness. Trust in the force of my adoration to direct you through the tempests of life, for an affection knows no restrictions, coming to the profundities of your being with endless sympathy. You are rarely alone, darling, for I'm with you generally, a quiet presence that murmurs uplifting statements and backing the tranquil openings of your heart. Incline upon me in the midst of hardship, and let my adoration be a wellspring of solidarity and boldness to help you through even the most obscure of evenings. In the hug of my empathy, find comfort and harmony, realizing that you are loved, unfathomable, and held in the delicate consideration of the heavenly. What's more, as you venture through the high points and low points of life's experience, recall these words: You are rarely alone, for I'm with you generally, my cherished kid. Title: Embracing Heavenly Pardoning. A message of unrestricted love, my dearest youngster, in the profundities of your spirit. I see the heaviness of weights you convey, the errors, the second thoughts, the aggravation of past offenses. In any case, hear me now, as I address the actual center of your being. My affection for you is genuine, and my absolution exceeds all logical limitations. Regardless of the slip ups you've made, some unacceptable turns you've taken, or the second thoughts that weigh weighty on your heart, I offer you my beauty and kindness. It is a gift openly given, a medicine for the injuries of the past, and an encouraging sign for what's to come. Try not to let the chains of culpability and disgrace tie you, my adored kid. Try not to let the shadows of the past dark the radiance of my adoration sparkling brilliantly upon you. From a lord of fresh opportunities, of vast sympathy, and of unfailing pardoning, in my eyes, you are not characterized by your missteps. You are not denounced by your disappointments. You are esteemed, cherished, and acknowledged similarly as you are. A dearest offspring of mine, deserving of my effortlessness and kindness. In any case, you should initially acknowledge my absolution, to relinquish the past and embrace the future that looks for you. Hold nothing back from the extraordinary force of my adoration, and let it wash over you like a delicate stream, purging you of all that burdens you and holding you close in its delicate hug. Realize that my pardoning is certainly not a one-time offer, however a consistent flood of effortlessness that streams unreservedly from my heart to yours. It is a wellspring of recharging, a wellspring of mending, and a pathway to reclamation for all who look for it. Along these lines, my darling, go ahead and to me with your weights, your second thoughts, and your aggravation. Lay them at my feet, and I will lift them from your shoulders, supplanting them with the harmony that outperforms all comprehension and the delight that exceeds all logical limitations. I see the decency inside you, the likely ready to be released, and I long to see you stroll in the completion of your actual way of life as my cherished kid. In any case, to do as such, you should initially acknowledge my absolution and extend it to yourself as well as other people. Excuse yourself, darling, as I have pardoned you. Discharge yourself from the chains of self-judgment and embrace the opportunity that comes from realizing that you are cherished to unfathomable. What's more, as you experience the extraordinary force of my pardoning in your own life, let it stream outwards, contacting the existences of people around you. Excuse others as I have pardoned you, stretching out effortlessness and kindness to all who cross your way. In this demonstration of absolution, you will track down recuperating, rebuilding, and the profound feeling of harmony that comes from realizing that you are strolling in arrangement with my heavenly will. Along these lines, my adored kid, realize that my affection for you is unqualified and my pardoning has no limits. Regardless of what botches you have made, I offer you my beauty and kindness. Embrace it, darling, and allow it to change your life from the back to front. With all my affection, your consistently dependable and excusing maker in the profundities of the evening when obscurity appears to overwhelm your spirit. I'm the light that pierces through the shadows, enlightening your way and directing you towards the beginning of another day. I'm the encouraging sign amidst despair, the compass that focuses genuine north when you have lost yourself. Trust in me, dear kid, for I'm the person who leads you through the maze of life. At the point when you wind up remaining at the junction, uncertain of which way to take, I'm the delicate murmur in your ear, and encouraging you to follow the way of honesty and truth. However, the excursion might be full of obstructions and difficulties, dread not, for I'm close by, directing all your means with the movable love and sympathy. Shift focus over to the stars above, and you will see the heavenly bodies that I have set overhead, outlining your predetermination and directing you towards your actual reason. Trust in the heavenly request of the universe and realize that everything occurs on purpose. Indeed, even amidst tumult and disarray, I'm the consistent hand that controls the course of your life towards the satisfaction of your fantasies. In snapshots of uncertainty and vulnerability, when the heaviness of the world pushes ahead upon your shoulders, go to me and track down comfort in my presence. I'm the stone whereupon you can fabricate your establishment, the stronghold that safeguards you from the tempests of life. With me as your aid, you want not dread the obscure, for I'm the light that exhales all dimness. Hold nothing back from me, dear kid, and let my adoration wash over you like a warm hug. I'm the voice that murmurs uplifting statements and consolation in your ear, consoling you that you are rarely alone. Trust in my insight, and I will show you the manner in which forward, driving you towards a future loaded up with trust and commitment. As you venture through life's winding ways, recollect that I am generally with you, directing you with affection and effortlessness. However, the street might be long and the excursion exhausting. Breathe easy in light of the information that I am the light that enlightens your way, directing you through the haziness and driving you towards the light. Trust in me, dear kid, for I won't ever mislead you. Title: Divine Strength, a stone and shelter in the midst of shortcoming in the immense field of presence, in the midst of the back and forth movements of life's excursion. There exists a steady wellspring of solidarity radiating from the core of the heavenly. Hear these words as a delicate murmur that resonates through the profundities of your spirit. In the midst of shortcoming, I'm your solidarity. At the point when you feel like you can't go on, recall that I am your stone and your asylum, my dearest kid, as you cross the twisting ways of life. Experiencing hardships en route, realize that I am hanging around for you, an undaunted presence offering comfort and backing in your critical crossroads. At the point when the weights of the world weigh vigorously upon your shoulders and the tempests of difficulty take steps to overpower you. Go to me and track down strength in my hug. In snapshots of shortcoming, when uncertainty creeps into your heart and dread mists your vision, recall that I am the stone whereupon you can fabricate your establishment. My affection for you is unshakable, my power boundless, and my beauty bountiful. Incline upon me, darling, and allow me to be your solidarity in the difficult situation. At the point when the excursion ahead appears to be overwhelming and the way is loaded with hindrances, take asylum in the sanctuary of my affection. For I'm your shelter, a protected harbor amidst life's tempests, offering security and direction to all who look for safe haven in my hug. Trust in my commitments, darling, and allow them to be an encouraging sign that lights your direction through the dims. Realize that you are rarely alone, for I'm with you continuously, strolling next to you constantly. At the point when you feel like you can't go on, when the heaviness of the world takes steps to smash your soul, contact me, and I will lift you up on wings of affection and bring you through the preliminaries that lie ahead. In the midst of shortcoming, let my solidarity be your anchor, establishing you in the midst of the wild oceans of life's difficulties. Draw upon the repository of my beauty and let it fill you with fortitude and flexibility to confront anything that might come your direction. For I have not provided you with a feeling of dread, but rather a force, love, and a sound brain. Keep in mind, darling, that you are more grounded than you know, for my solidarity lies inside you, ready to be released. Trust in the force of my affection to support you, and allow it to be a directing light that leads you through the haziest of evenings and into the beginning of another day. So when the shadows of uncertainty and gloom take steps to overwhelm you, recall these words: I'm your solidarity, I'm your stone and your asylum. What's more, let them fill you with the fortitude and certainty to confront anything difficulties might come your direction, realizing that I am with you generally, my cherished kid. Title: Gripping to Trust. Tracking down light in the profundities of sadness, my dearest youngster, in the most obscure profundities of gloom. When the shadows of vulnerability pose a potential threat and the heaviness of the world feels deplorable, I encourage you to clutch trust. For even in the most distressing minutes, I'm the Lord of wonders, the carrier of light amidst murkiness, and the wellspring of trust that can transform your haziest days into snapshots of win and euphoria. I see the tears you shed, the torment you convey, and the battles you face. I hear the calls of your heart, the questions that plague your brain, and the feelings of dread that take steps to consume your soul. Be that as it may, know this, my cherished kid. You are rarely alone, and there is generally trust in any event when it appears far off. Trust is certainly not a simple wish or a passing craving. It is an immovable anchor for the spirit, a reference point of light that guides you through the tempests of life and leads you to more settled waters. The conviction better days are ahead, that mending is conceivable, and that delight can be tracked down even amidst distress. However, the street might be long and the excursion full of hindrances. I'm with you constantly, strolling alongside you, holding your hand and helping you through the haziest valleys. My affection for you exceeds all rational limitations, and my ability to achieve marvels is boundless. Try not to lose heart, my darling, for I have the ability to transform your grieving into moving, your sobbing into giggling, and your gloom into trust. Trust in my unfailing affection and allow it to be the anchor that steadies your spirit in the midst of the furious tempests of life. Have confidence in the force of wonders from the God who separated the oceans, who raised the dead to life, and who vanquished great beyond. There isn't anything past my span, no circumstance excessively critical, and no situation excessively sad for my help from above. In any event, when everything appears to be lost, recollect that I am the Lord of restoration and recharging. I can reinvigorate the dry bones of gloom and transform your grieving into moving. Place your confidence in me and watch as I make all the difference in your life, changing your preliminaries into declarations of my reliability and elegance. Thus, my cherished kid, don't surrender to surrender, however, grip to trust energetically. Cling tightly to the commitments I have spoken over your life and allow them to be a wellspring of solidarity and support in the haziest of times. For I'm with you generally, and my adoration for you won't ever falter. With me close by, there's dependably trust, in every case light, and consistently the commitment of a more brilliant tomorrow. Along these lines, hang tight, darling, and allow desire to be your directing star as you venture through life's highs and lows. For me, you will track down the solidarity to persevere, the boldness to persist, and the delight that comes from realizing that you are cherished unfathomable. In the tremendous field of the universe where systems twirl and stars sparkle, I'm the delicate hand that mitigates the hurt in your heart and the healer of wounds that run profound. My kid, when life's weights weigh weighty upon your shoulders and the preliminaries of presence leave you battered and wounded, realize that I am here to bring you comfort and mending. I'm the heavenly doctor, the person who reinvigorates the exhausted soul and reestablishes essentialness to the drained soul. Present to me your aggravation. Dear kid, lay it at my feet and watch as I work marvels of change and recharging. Whether your difficulties are physical, close to home, or profound, I'm the cure that brings alleviation and rebuilding. The peaceful snapshots of isolation when the world disappears and you are abandoned with your viewpoints, go to me and I will enclose you by my caring hug. Experience the glow of my presence encompassing you like a delicate cover, encouraging you in your period of scarcity. Relinquish your apprehensions and nerves, and give up to the mending force of my affection. Realize that you are in good company in your affliction, for I'm the consistently present buddy who strolls next to you through the haziest valleys and the most brilliant pinnacles. In the midst of ailment and agony, I'm the demoscene that relieves your injuries and the treatment that carries help to your disturbed soul. Yet, recuperating isn't just about the body. It is additionally about the psyche and soul. I'm the wellspring of insight and illumination, the person who guides you on the way to inward harmony and serenity. Through supplication and reflection, hold nothing back from me and permit my recuperating energy to course through you, purifying you of pessimism and filling you with light. Trust in the force of my adoration, dear kid, for it is a power unimaginable, fit for carrying recuperating to even the most profound of wounds. Embrace the excursion of mending and realize that I am generally here for you, prepared to offer solace and comfort at whatever point you really want it most. In the midst of hardship, when the world appears to be disheartening and trust feels far off, recall that I am the light that sparkles in the haziness, the encouraging sign that guides you home. With me close by, you want not dread the tempests of life, for I'm the anchor that holds you consistent in the midst of the furious oceans. So come to me, my kid, with your aggravation and your injuries, and allow me to bring you solace and recuperating. Trust in my boundless love, and realize that I won't ever walk out on you, for I'm the extraordinary healer of body, brain, and soul, and in my hug, you will discover a genuine sense of harmony. Title: Divine Security. Embrace boldness under the vigilant look in the huge breadth of presence in the midst of the recurring pattern of life's flows. There repeats a reverberating confirmation from the heavenly. Dread not, for I'm your defender. No damage will come upon you under my vigilant look, for I'm your safeguard and your fort. My cherished kid, as you venture through the maze of presence, experiencing the horrid difficulties and vulnerabilities that lie on pause, realize that you are wrapped in the defensive hug of heavenly love. Dread not, for I'm your watchman, ever cautious and resolute in my obligation to protecting your prosperity. In snapshots of uncertainty and anxiety, when the shadows of dread pose a potential threat and the obscure take steps to immerse you, recollect that you are under my security, like a powerful fort that stands unwavering against the tempests of misfortune. I'm your safeguard, protecting you from hurt and giving shelter in the midst of hardship. However, the way forward might be full of risks and impediments. Have confidence that you are in good company in your excursion. I'm with you generally, a quiet sentinel looking after you with unflinching consideration and empathy. Trust in my supreme ability to safeguard you from mischief and allow confidence to be your directing light through the haziest of evenings. At the point when the breezes of vulnerability yell and the whirlwind of life's preliminaries take steps to clear you away, take asylum in the haven of my adoration. For I'm your post, a fortification that can't be shaken by the wild floods of the world. Allow my presence to be a wellspring of solidarity and mental fortitude, encouraging you to confront anything that difficulties might come your direction with steady purpose. No mischief will happen to you under my vigilant look, darling, for I'm the defender of your spirit, the watchman of your soul. However the tempests might seep and the tides might change, realize that I am the anchor that holds you consistent in the midst of the bedlam. Trust in my commitments and allow them to be an encouraging sign that lights your direction through the haziness. Dread not, for I'm your defender, and my adoration for you has no limits. In the sanctuary of my hug, find comfort and harmony, realizing that you are no problem at all under the shade of my beauty. So go forward, darling, with certainty and boldness, realizing that I am with you generally, your safeguard and your fort, presently and forevermore. Title: Embracing Heavenly Reason. Disclosing the terrific plan of your life, my dearest kid, you haven't arrived unintentionally, but rather by divine plan. From the exact second of your origin, I have woven the strings of your reality with reason and purposefulness. You are a magnum opus of my creation, made with adoration, care, and a dream outside your ability to understand. Try not to uncertainty briefly that your life is a result of possibility or luck. You are a piece of my stupendous plan, a novel and indispensable piece of the riddle, crucial for the unfurling of my heavenly arrangement for the world. I have a reason for your life, darling, a reason that is pretty much as huge as the universe and as many-sided as the best embroidery. A reason rises above the limits of existence, winding around together the strings of your encounters, your gifts, and your interests into a lovely ensemble of satisfaction and significance. However, you may not necessarily see it or comprehend it. Realize that my arrangement for your life is more prominent than you can envision. It is an arrangement loaded up with trust, with guarantee, and with vast open doors for development and change. You are not made to only exist, to meander randomly through the halls of time. No, you were made with purposefulness, with a particular calling and fate ready to be satisfied. You are here to have an effect, to make history, and to focus brilliantly as a signal of light and love in the midst of the murkiness. In any case, it is generally difficult to find your motivation. It requires reflection, wisdom, and a readiness to pay attention to the still, little voice inside. It expects fortitude to put it all on the line, to embrace the way that I have laid before you, and to confide in my direction constantly. Don't hesitate for even a moment to think beyond practical boundaries, my darling, for I have sowed seeds of significance inside you. Your motivation isn't restricted by your conditions, your previous mishaps, or your apparent constraints. It is pretty much as vast as the sky and as endless as my adoration for you. In this way, look for me with your entire existence, and I will uncover to you the reason that I have appointed for your life. Pay attention to the murmurs of my soul, directing you towards your actual calling and predetermination. Also, trust in my commitment that I won't ever leave you nor neglect you as you venture towards satisfying your heavenly reason. Keep in mind, darling, that you are never alone in this excursion. I am with you continuously, strolling next to you, directing your means, and applauding you from the sidelines. Trust in my timing, my insight, and my affection for you, and you will find the satisfaction and bliss that comes from carrying on with the daily existence lined up with your heavenly reason. In the huge field of existence, in the midst of the tumult and vulnerability of life, there is one consistent, one truth that stays unflinching and immovable: my affection for you. My cherished kid, let these words sink profound into your spirit, for they hold the embodiment of my everlasting love for you. From the snapshot of your creation, you have been the object of my most profound love and friendship. Before the groundworks of the earth were laid, before the stars were set burning in the sky, I knew you and adored you. You are my magnum opus, my valuable creation, and my heart spills over with unlimited love for you. Regardless of where you go or what you do, my adoration will continuously follow you, similar to a delicate breeze that murmurs through the trees with the glow of the sun that washes the earth in its brilliant light. An adoration exceeds all rational limitations, that spans to the farthest corners of the universe and then some. My affection for you is everlasting, extending back to the beginning of recorded history and venturing forward into vastness. An affection rises above reality, including each snapshot of your reality and then some. There is no start or end to my adoration for you, for it is all around as interminable as the actual universe. Know, dear kid, that you are esteemed unimaginable, esteemed unparalleled. You are my favorite, the delight of my heart, and the justification behind my very being. In your haziest minutes, when you feel lost and alone, recall that my affection encompasses you like a warm hug, holding you close and never giving up. My adoration for you is unqualified, constant, and ceaseless. It did not depend on what you do or don't do, what you say or don't say. An affection essentially is an affection that streams from the profundities of my being and fills each fiber of your being with warmth and light. Thus, my cherished kid, rest in the information that you are adored unimaginable. Allow my adoration to be a wellspring of solidarity and solace to you, an encouraging sign in the most obscure of evenings. Also, may you generally recall that regardless of what lies ahead, my adoration won't ever bomb you, for it is all around as consistent as the stars overhead. Divine harmony, embracing peacefulness in the midst of bedlam in the wild oceans of presence, in the midst of the crashing floods of disarray and unrest, there exists a serene desert spring of harmony radiating from the heavenly presence. Amidst bedlam and disturbance, discover a sense of reconciliation in my presence. I'm the quiet in the tempest, the harmony that outperforms all comprehension. Dearest kid, as you explore the blustery waters of life, rocked by the breezes of vulnerability and the flows of progress, realize that you will not be cleared away by the disarray around you. For I'm here, a reference point of harmony sparkling splendidly in the midst of the most obscure of tempests, offering comfort and tranquility to all who look for shelter in my hug. In snapshots of pain and commotion, when the world appears to go wild and the clamor of the world takes steps to overpower you, turn internal and track down comfort in my presence. I'm the quiet in the tempest, the tranquility at the focal point of the hurricane, holding on to wrap you in a sweeping of serenity that rises above all comprehension. However the preliminaries of life might test your purpose and the difficulties you face might appear to be unfavorable, realize that you are in good company in your battles. I'm here, a quiet friend strolling close by, offering strength and backing to assist you with enduring the hardship. Trust in my presence, darling, and allow it to be a wellspring of solace and consolation in the midst of hardship. At the point when the mayhem of the world takes steps to muffle the voice of reason and the commotion of dread develops stunning, look for asylum in the safe haven of my tranquility, for in my presence there is no space for dread or uncertainty, just a profound feeling of quiet that mitigates the disturbed waters of the spirit. Allow my tranquility to wash over you like a delicate breeze, invigorating your soul and recharging your solidarity. However the tempests might seethe and the whirlwinds might thunder, realize that my tranquility is unshakable, a stronghold that can't be penetrated by the preliminaries of life. Allow it to be your anchor amidst the tempest, establishing you in the midst of the disarray and directing you securely through the most obscure of evenings. In the tranquil snapshots of reflection, let my tranquility fill you with the feeling of serenity and satisfaction, realizing that you are held in the caring hug of the heavenly. Trust in the force of my tranquility to bring you through the hardships of life's excursion and allow it to be a directing light that leads you securely home. Darling, amidst disarray and disturbance, discover a sense of harmony in my presence. Allow it to be a shelter for your exhausted soul, a safe haven where you can track down rest and recharging in the midst of the tempests of life. For I'm the quiet in the tempest, the harmony that outperforms all comprehension, and I'm hanging around for you generally, my cherished kid. Title: Embracing Heavenly Euphoria. Emanating light and appreciation, my dearest youngster. Amidst life's excursion, in the midst of its exciting bends in the road, its pinnacles and valleys, I call upon you to embrace delight, the unadulterated, unrestrained satisfaction that leaps out from the profundities of your spirit and emanates outward like a reference point of light in the dimness. Cheer in the favors that encompass you, for each great and amazing gift comes from me. From the glow of the sun all over to the giggling of friends and family, from the magnificence of nature to the basic joys of day-to-day existence, every second is a gift, a demonstration of my unlimited love and effortlessness. Allow my satisfaction to make you indescribably pleased, darling, similar to a stream spilling over its banks, washing ceaselessly all hints of distress, stress, and dread. Allow it to pervade each fiber of your being, injecting you with a feeling of harmony, happiness, and appreciation for the bountiful endowments that effortlessness your life every single day. Try not to trust that ideal conditions will encounter bliss, for it isn't subject to outer factors or temporary feelings. Genuine bliss rushes out from a heart that is established in confidence, appreciation, and a steady confidence in my fortune. Indeed, even amidst hardships, I welcome you to opt for bliss, to track down magnificence amidst brokenness, to find trust despite despair, and to embrace giggling amidst tears. For my bliss isn't reliant upon your conditions, however, on the unshakable reality of my affection for you. Wake you up to the miracles that encompass you, darling, and allow appreciation to be the focal point through which you view the world. Remember your good fortune, both of all shapes and sizes, and let them act as a wake-up call of wow and devotion in your life. However, don't remain quiet about this happiness, my cherished youngster. Allow it to spill over into your general surroundings, similar to swells on a lake, contacting the existences of all who cross your way. Be a signal of light in a world covered in obscurity, sharing the delight that streams from your heart with the people who need it most. Allow your delight to be irresistible, fanning out light quickly and lighting the hearts of others with trust, love, and the commitment of a more splendid tomorrow. Allow it to be a demonstration of the extraordinary force of my affection and an update that even in the haziest of times, happiness can be tracked down within the sight of my soul. In this way, my darling, embrace euphoria with great affection and allow it to be your dependable friend on the excursion of life. Allow it to give you a much-needed boost, recharge your solidarity, and make you indescribably pleased with the feeling of miracle and wonder at the excellence of my creation. In the excellent embroidery of presence, time unfurls in baffling ways, winding around together the strings of past, present, and future into magnum opus outside our ability to grasp. My dearest kid, as you venture through the entries of life, recall that time is nevertheless a vessel through which my heavenly will is showed. Tolerance, darling, is the righteousness that conveys incredible power and shrewdness. It is the capacity to persevere, to stand by with calm certainty and confidence in the unfurling of my arrangement. For I, your maker, grasp the outline of your life, and I know the amazing luck for each occasion, each gift, and each preliminary that you will experience. In the hurrying around of current life, it is not difficult to become eager to request moment, delight, and prompt outcomes. However, genuine development, genuine change takes time. Like a seed established in the dirt, it requires sustaining care and persistence to grow and bloom into something wonderful. Thus, my dear youngster, trust in my timing, for it is dependably great. In any event, when it appears to be that nothing is occurring, when the street ahead shows up lengthy and unsure, realize that I am working in the background, arranging everything about your existence with accuracy and love. At the times of stalling, develop a feeling of persistence and give up. Embrace the current second, for it is where genuine harmony and satisfaction lie. Permit yourself to be completely present, to enjoy the straightforward delight of life, realizing that every second is a valuable gift from me to you. As you stand by, don't lose heart or become tired. All things being equal, draw strength from the information that I am with you continuously, directing you, supporting you, and setting you up for the endowments that lie ahead. Trust in my commitments, for they are steadfast and valid, and realize that I will make everything delightful in my time. In the completion of time, when the fates line up and the seasons change, you will see the products of your understanding and steadfastness. You will observe the unfurling of my arrangement in your life, and you will wonder about the excellence and flawlessness of my timing. In this way, show restraint, darling, and entrust in me with everything that is in you, for I'm continuously working for your great, and I won't ever bomb you. Title: Developing Appreciation, Tracking Down Euphoria and the Wealth of Endowments in the Immense Embroidery of Presence. In the midst of the horrid encounters that shape our lives, there exists a significant greeting from the heavenly. Express gratefulness for the wealth of gifts in your day-to-day existence, both of all shapes and sizes. Develop a feeling of appreciation, and you will track down happiness in each second. Dearest soul, as you venture through the maze of life's undertakings, pause for a minute to stop and consider the large number of gifts that effortlessness your way. For in every breath you take, in each thump of your heart, there lies a gold mine of overflow ready to be found. Express gratefulness for the supernatural occurrences that unfurl around you, both seen and inconspicuous, and allow appreciation to be the compass that directs your direction. In snapshots of win and festivity, when your heart spills over with satisfaction and appreciation, offer thanks to the wellspring, everything being equal. For each triumph, each achievement, is a demonstration of the effortlessness and goodness that penetrate the texture of presence. Develop a feeling of appreciation, darling, and allow it to be a guide of light that enlightens your way through the murkiness. In any case, don't neglect the more modest favors that embellish your life like valuable gems dispersed along the side of the road. Express appreciation for the straightforward delights that give you pleasure. The glow of the sun all over, the giggling of friends and family, the magnificence of nature's abundance. For it is much of the time in these apparently irrelevant minutes that the genuine pith of life's extravagance is uncovered. In the midst of difficulty and battle, when the street ahead appears to be steep and the difficulties impossible, let appreciation be your directing star. For even amidst life's tempests, there are favors to be viewed, examples of scholarly solidarity to be acquired, and strength to be manufactured. Express gratefulness for the open doors that emerge from misfortune, and allow them to be an impetus for development and change. In the tranquil snapshots of reflection, develop a feeling of appreciation that penetrates each part of your being. Allow it to imbue your contemplations, words, and activities with the feeling of appreciation for the favors that have large amounts of your life. Furthermore, as you do, you will find that delight blooms inside you like a blossom and sprout, making you exuberantly pleased with a feeling of harmony and satisfaction. Darling, express appreciation for the wealth of favors in your day-to-day existence, both of all shapes and sizes. For in the demonstration of appreciation lies the way to opening the completion of life's true capacity and encountering the genuine delight of presence. So pause for a minute every day to offer gratitude for the favors that effortlessness your way, and allow appreciation to be your dependable friend on the excursion of life. Title: Embracing Heavenly Fortitude. Venturing forward with confidence and affirmation, my dearest youngster, even with vulnerability. Amidst dread, I call upon you to embrace boldness, the mental fortitude that leaps out from a heart grounded in confidence, trust, and the unflinching confirmation of my presence close by. Try not to be apprehensive, darling, for I'm with you generally. My adoration encompasses you like a defensive safeguard, and my solidarity supports you through each hardship that you might confront. Take boldness along these lines and put it all out there, realizing that I won't ever walk out on you. Dread has no control over you, from the God who quiets the tempest, who makes a way where there is by all accounts absolutely not a chance, and who leads you victoriously through the haziest valleys to the mountain ridges of triumph. Trust in my commitments, darling, and allow them to be a wellspring of solidarity and mental fortitude as you explore the difficulties of life. Mental fortitude isn't the shortfall of dread, yet the readiness to defy it head on, to stand firm notwithstanding misfortune, and to push forward earnestly in resolve. It is the conviction that no hindrance is outlandish, no preliminary excessively overwhelming, and no misfortune too extraordinary to even consider defeating with my solidarity and direction. Take boldness, darling, for I have furnished you with all that you want to confront anything difficulties might come your direction. I have provided you with a feeling of force, of affection, and of a sound brain, a soul that empowers you to transcend your feelings of trepidation and to walk strongly in the certainty of my presence. Try not to recoil from the preliminaries that lie ahead, however, face them with boldness and conviction, realizing that I am with you constantly. Draw strength from my commitments, my statement, and my presence, and allow them to encourage you to seek after your fantasies, beat your deterrents, and satisfy your heavenly fate. However, recollect, darling, that fortitude is certainly not a one-time act, yet a day-to-day choice, a decision to confide in me, to give up to my will, and to put it all on the line. In any event, when the way forward appears to be questionable or overwhelming. In this way, my adored kid, don't allow dread to keep you away from turning into the individual I have made you to be. Take boldness, consequently, and allow it to be your directing light as you venture through life's high points and low points. For with me close by, you can confront anything that comes your direction with certainty, realizing that I won't ever leave you nor spurn you. With all my affection, your always present wellspring of fortitude and strength in the immense breadth of the universe, in the midst of the recurring pattern of time, there exists a power unbelievable, a faithful signal of light that punctures through the dimness, enlightening the way for the people who set out to accept. My esteemed youngster, let your heart be loaded up with the honest, steady fire, for in confidence lies the ability to move heaven and earth and shape fates. In a world loaded with uncertainty and vulnerability, confidence remains as an undaunted anchor, establishing the spirit in the midst of life's wild tempests. It is the resolute faith in my heavenly fortune, the unshakable confidence in my timeless commitments that engages you to rise above the constraints of human comprehension and embrace the endless potential outcomes of the universe. However the difficulties you face might appear to be unconquerable, however the preliminaries of life might weigh vigorously upon your soul, don't surrender. For with confidence as little as a mustard seed, you have the boundless potential to vanquish the unthinkable, to conquer difficulty, and to rise successful despite misfortune. Accept, my darling, accept with each fiber of your being, for confidence is the key that opens the way to wonders. The impious changes dreams into the real world, supplications into addressed gifts. At the point when your general surrounding shakes with uncertainty, let your confidence stand firm like an enduring stronghold, for it is the establishment whereupon marvels are constructed. To sustain your confidence like a delicate sapling, developing it with supplication, reflection, and the relentless conviction that I am with you continuously. directing you, safeguarding you, and engaging you to walk the way of uprightness. Trust in my commitments, for they are unalterable, changeless, and timeless. In any event, when the excursion ahead appears to be covered in murkiness, in any event, when the street is laden with obstructions and difficulties, cling tightly to your confidence, realizing that I am the light that directs your direction. Like a signal in the evening, let your confidence sparkle splendidly, creating out the shaded areas of uncertainty and dread, and driving you nearer and nearer to the satisfaction of my heavenly arrangement. In the profundities of your spirit, let confidence flourish and thrive, for in confidence lies the ability to rise above the impediments of the human experience and embrace the endless potential outcomes of the heavenly. With confidence as your compass and my adoration as your aid, there isn't anything that you can't accomplish, no hindrance that you can't survive. In this way, my darling kid, accept, put stock in me, trust in yourself, and have confidence in the boundless capability of confidence to move heaven and earth and shape fates. Title: The Consistently Present Chance of Recovery, embracing reclamation and restoration in the immense region of presence. In the midst of the recurring patterns of human experience, there exists an immortal greeting from the heavenly. Regardless of how far you have wandered, returning to me is rarely past the point of no return. I offer you recovery and reclamation, if by some stroke of good luck you will go to me. Dear soul, as you venture through the exciting bends in the road of life's winding way, realize that you are never past the range of heavenly effortlessness. Regardless of how far you might have meandered, regardless of how profound you might have fallen, the way to recovery stands open before you, coaxing you to get back to the wellspring of all affection and light. In snapshots of uncertainty and depression, when the heaviness of responsibility and disgrace take steps to pound your soul, recall that you are not characterized by your previous mishaps. I offer you reclamation, darling, an opportunity to deliver the weights of the past and embrace a future loaded up with trust and plausibility. Everything necessary is a willing heart and a modest soul to turn towards me and acknowledge the endowment of rebuilding that I offer. However, the way to reclamation might be full of difficulties and impediments. Realize that you don't walk this way alone. I'm with you generally, a resolute presence offering direction and backing constantly. Trust in my unlimited love and kindness to lead you through the dimness and into the radiance of reclamation. No wrongdoing is too perfect, no offense excessively serious to be excused by the boundless effortlessness of the heavenly. In my eyes, you deserve recovery, darling, no matter what the missteps you have made or the ways you have picked. Relinquish the shackles of responsibility and self-judgment and embrace the opportunity that comes from tolerating the endowment of pardoning that I offer. In the peaceful snapshots of reflection, notice the still, little voice inside you that murmurs encouraging statements and acknowledgement. It is the voice of recovery, calling you to set out your weights and give up to the groundbreaking force of heavenly effortlessness. Pay attention to its delicate provoking and let it guide you back into the caring hug of the heavenly. Regardless of how far you have wandered, returning to me is rarely past the point of no return. I stand prepared to greet you wholeheartedly, to wash away the stains of transgression and disgrace, and to re-establish you to completeness and virtue. Everything necessary is a solitary move toward confidence, an eagerness to relinquish the past and embrace the commitment of a more splendid tomorrow. So don't surrender, darling, for reclamation is dependably reachable. Turn towards me with an open heart and a penitent soul, and I will lift you up on wings of affection and convey you home to where you really have a place. For I offer you reclamation and rebuilding, if by some stroke of good luck you will go to me, embracing heavenly acquiescence, discovering an authentic sense of reconciliation and giving up my dearest youngster in the bedlam of life, in the midst of the tempest that fury inside and without. I call upon you to embrace give up, the demonstration of delivering your weights, your concerns, and your will into my caring hands. Give up to me, darling, and I will give you rest for your spirit. Discharge the heaviness of your weights, darling, and lay them at my feet. Relinquish the concerns that consume your contemplations, the apprehensions that grasp your heart, and the nerves that plague your psyche, for in giving them over to me, you free yourself from their weighty burden and free yourself up to the harmony that outperforms all comprehension. Try not to grip to control, darling, for it is nevertheless a deception, a passing hallucination in the desert of life. Give your will over to mine, and let me guide your means, your considerations, and your longings as indicated by my ideal arrangement for your life. Trust in my insight, wow, and my adoration for you, and allow them to be the compass that coordinates your way. Give up is definitely not an indication of shortcoming, however, of solidarity, an acknowledgement of your restrictions, and an affirmation of my power over all things. It is the demonstration of relinquishing your own plan and embracing mine, realizing that my arrangements for you are far more noteworthy than whatever you might at any point envision. As you give up to me, darling, you will track down rest for your spirit, a profound and withstanding harmony that rises above the hardships of this world. A harmony streams from realizing that you are held in the center of my hand, and that nothing can isolate you from my affection. Be that as it may, give up is certainly not a one-time act, yet an everyday decision, a non-stop setting down of your own longings and desires at my feet. It requires modesty, trust, and an eagerness to give up control in any event when the way forward appears to be unsure or overwhelming. Along these lines, my dearest youngster, make it a point to give up to me totally, to confide in my arrangements, my timing, and my arrangement for your life. Relinquish the need to grasp everything, and on second thought, rest in the information that I am working everything together for your benefit. In giving up to me, you will view opportunity, and opportunity as what your identity was made to be, to live genuinely and encounter the completion of satisfaction and harmony that comes from strolling in arrangement with my will. With all my affection, your consistently present wellspring of harmony and solace in the embroidery of presence, woven with strings of time and determination, there exists a domain past the limits of mortal discernment, an everlasting safe haven where the spirit finds comfort and the soul discovers a sense of reconciliation. My loved kid, cast your look past the transient charm of natural delights and fix your eyes upon the vast scope of endlessness that looks for you in my heavenly hug. In the transient dance of mortal presence, where delights are short-lived and distresses are significant, failing to focus on the timeless reality that lies past the cloak of mortality is simple. Yet, I, your everlasting dad, entice you to look past the worldly shroud and view the commitment of timeless life that looks for you in my realm. In my heavenly residence, there is no more aggravation, no more distress, just never-ending bliss that exceeds all rational limitations. It is where the exhausted find rest, the wrecked view is mending, and the lost see as their way home. In my realm, each tear is cleaned away, every injury is mended, and each heart is loaded up with the brilliant light of my everlasting affection. However the preliminaries of life might weigh vigorously upon your spirit, however the weights of this world might appear to be impossible, breathe easy in light of the information that they are nevertheless temporary shadows in the timeless light of my presence. For in my realm, there is no haziness that can eclipse the splendor of my adoration, no gloom that can extinguish the fire of trust, and no apprehension that can diminish the honest brilliance. Thus, my darling kid, don't be discouraged by the preliminaries of this world, for they are nevertheless impermanent preliminaries that blur into importance in the radiance of endlessness. Lift up your eyes to the sky and observe the magnificence of my timeless realm that looks for you, a realm where the noble reign with me in never-ending greatness, where torment and enduring are nevertheless ancient remnants of the past, and where love rules forever. Set your heart afire with the expectation of everlasting life, and let the commitment of my timeless realm be the directing star that enlightens your way through the haziest of evenings. For eventually, it is in the passing joys of this world that persevere, however, the timeless fortunes of my realm that anticipate the people who place their confidence in me. Embrace the commitment of timeless existence with me, my dearest youngster, and let the desire for paradise be the anchor of your spirit in the turbulent oceans of life. For in my realm, there is no limit to the delight, no restriction to the affection, and no action to the endowments that anticipate the people who stroll in confidence in my everlasting commitments. Title, timeless presence and endowments, an end embrace from the heavenly in the excellent embroidery of presence, as the drape attracts to a nearby on the phase of human experience, there arises a delicate shutting message from the heavenly. My darling kid, realize that I am generally here for you, presently and forevermore. May my tranquility and endowments arrive consistently. Dearest soul, as you venture through the maze of life, in the midst of its pinnacles and valleys, its delights and distresses, recollect that you are rarely alone. I'm with you generally, a consistent presence close by, directing you with adoration and shrewdness through the exciting bends in the road of your natural visit. In snapshots of happiness and festivity, when your heart spills over with appreciation and jubilee, realize that I cheer with you, my darling kid. Your bliss gives me pleasure, and your victories are a demonstration of the versatility and strength that live inside you. May my endowments shower upon you like delicate downpour, sustaining your soul and making you exuberantly pleased with unfathomable love. Furthermore, in snapshots of distress and sadness, when the heaviness of the world takes steps to pulverize your soul, recollect that I am here to offer comfort and solace in your period of scarcity. Incline upon me, darling, and let my adoration be a wellspring of solidarity to bring you through the haziest of evenings. May my tranquility, similar to a delicate breeze, clear away the billows of pity and fill your spirit with quietness and quiet. As you explore the difficulties and vulnerabilities of life's excursion, may you find consolation in the information that I'm hanging around for you, presently and forevermore. My adoration for you exceeds all logical limitations, and my presence is a reference point of light that sparkles splendidly in the murkiest, directing your direction with steadfast effortlessness. Regardless of where your way might lead you, regardless of what preliminaries you might confront, realize that I am dependably here to stroll alongside you, to loan you strength and backing when you really want it most. Trust in my direction, darling, and allow it to be a wellspring of solace and confirmation as you venture through the high points and low points of life's experience. Furthermore, as you bid goodbye to this natural domain, an excursion into the incredible obscure that lies past, may my tranquility and endowments arrive consistently. May they encompass you like a mantle of adoration, enclosing you in their glow and security as you leave upon the following phase of your timeless excursion. My adored kid, realize that I am consistently here for you, presently and forevermore. May my tranquility and gifts arrive continuously, directing you, encouraging you, and making you indescribably pleased with affection timeless. All in all, the heavenly messages shared all through these reflections resound with a significant feeling of affection, empathy, and direction from the heavenly presence. Each message conveys inside it a commitment of trust, a source of inspiration, and an encouragement to embrace the extraordinary force of confidence, appreciation, and reclamation. As we venture through the intricacies of life, may we cling tightly to the confirmation that we are rarely alone, for the heavenly presence is ever present, directing us with immovable love and elegance. May we find comfort in the information that regardless of the difficulties we face, we are maintained by an unflinching wellspring of solidarity and security. Allow us to develop a feeling of appreciation, expressing gratefulness for the overflow of gifts in our lives, both of all shapes and sizes. In snapshots of bliss, may we cheer in the spilling over goodness that encompasses us, and in snapshots of distress, may we track down solace in the persevering through affection for the heavenly. Furthermore, as we explore the exciting bends in the road of our natural process, may we recollect this solicitation to reclamation, realizing that it is never past time to turn towards the light and embrace the limitless beauty that looks for us. All things considered, let us convey forward these heavenly messages as encouraging signs and direction, enlightening our way with the illumination of adoration and shrewdness. May we stroll in confidence, realizing that the heavenly presence is with us continuously, offering harmony, endowments, and everlasting elegance.